Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to DevChatter episode 100. That is a crazy thing to even think about. 100 episodes. We've done, by that token, I guess, hundreds of hours of stuff here on the channel. Hello, everybody. I see a bunch of people saying hi in the chat, hype, and other things like that. Glad to see everybody showing up. Coated Beard, Crazy Zealot, S&B, Zarnal, Will Bennett, hello everybody, welcome. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day. For you Americans, happy Labor Day. For everyone else, happy Monday. And if it's a holiday where you are, then let me know and I will say happy whatever holiday that is also. So anyway, getting started today, I wanted to work on something interesting for today's project. I either wanted to do some kind of special thing, or I wanted to work on something that goes back to basics. Nice, S&B, it's DevChatter Day there. Well, happy DevChatter Day. So what we are going to work on today is going back to basics. We are going to look at some things that are in the core of our application and hopefully make some improvements to how this is working. So, no, not Visual Basic. No, not that, Will. No, we're going to go back to structural things inside of our project. Now, here's the advantage of doing what we're going to do today. So, there's two main features that we want to build into our chatbot, the chatbot being our main application that we work on here in DevChatter. And the things we want to add are this. Number one, I want the ability to connect and disconnect the bot so that I could have this, say, hosted somewhere else and only be connected to the Twitch chat and Twitch API while I'm live. So I could go out to the website and just say, yep, go ahead and connect or something like that. Even if it's running on my computer, I would like it to be that I turn it on when I want it to just go. But otherwise, it's running. The other thing I want to change about it is I want to make it so that when we connect something like Discord, I can decide to connect and disconnect to Twitch as well as connecting and disconnecting from Discord. So that's going to require that we be able to connect and disconnect the bot. So we're going to want to figure that out, and that's going to require a structural change to our code. The other thing that I want to do is make it so that when we add Discord, the structure is as nice as possible for that. So we've generally been following a clean architecture up to this point, and what that means is that we've kept most of our dependencies inside the core project. We've tried to follow most of the solid principles, although we violate them every once in a while, usually because the stream format sort of requires it, the same as what you get when you work in production code. There's sometimes a deadline, and the deadline for me often is, I want this done before we finish the stream so I can show you all the feature, and I can only stream for so long. So occasionally we'll wrap something up a little bit faster than we want. So that kind of thing happens, and we'll just do a bit of bad structure that we plan on coming back and cleaning up later, which is why we've done a few streams of, cleaning up our old code. So today, we're going to look at that same kind of thing. Let me just make sure nothing that I need to catch up on happen in chat. So you want to make it chat service agnostic. It can be, yes, exactly, Zarnal. We want to be able to connect to any chat service, be it Slack, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, whatever kind of thing that can have this chat concept that we want to connect it to. Twitter might be a little bit weird, but I do want to connect it to Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn at some point, because you might want announcements. So it would be nice. Those are future dreams of things, you could say something like a command in chat, so one of your moderators, for example, could trigger a tweet to go out, and you don't have to remember to do it, because moderators have commands. And so that's part of the idea, is if you make the bot the central hub to control these things, you can delegate powers to other people. So that's the general concept. And welcome everybody that was lurking around in either Code Rushed or the Visual Studio. We will be doing some interesting stuff today, so hopefully you are all here and ready for some fun, because we have a bit of cleanup of some of the messier parts in our code. As you can probably guess, these core architectural pieces we try to keep them in the right place with the right dependencies, but the one area that we sort of let them get away is we let them grow a little bit. And we all do this, and that's why we have to stay on top of it as developers. And it's something we need to clean up. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that today. Let's see. You're fairly new. How does the bot actually work? So we are running in C# and .NET Core, and it connects through a library to Twitch. The library is called TwitchLib. It's released as a NuGet package, and a few of the maintainers sometimes are viewers here. And actually, you can find those maintainers in our Discord as well, so if you want to chat with any of them outside of the stream, the Discord's a great place to check that out. In fact, to chat with any of us, really. So as I said, C#, .NET Core connects to that. It's running on ASP.NET Core as a web application, and we use SignalR to communicate to an overlay that's over the screen, and JavaScript on that. So those are the main pieces. Yeah, we love .NET Core here. I don't think we've done a full framework thing on this channel yet, and we're 100 episodes in, so we'll see if we end up doing it. Anyway, taking a look at this, we're going to get into the messier parts of our code a little bit. Zarno, it is entirely possible that, that you use TwitchLib. It would make a lot of sense if you do. Okay, so this... see this little note? This will eventually be a list of these. So notice that I made note here that this structure is eventually going to change. We did one for now because it made it a little simpler at the time of our code and just tossed in this comment to tell anybody that looks at this, hey, by the way, we're going to connect to multiple followable systems. Followable systems would be like subscribers on YouTube, followers on Twitch, followers on Twitter, other things like that where you can have, you know, the concept of someone follows someone else. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to simplify this? And yes, I am just going to dive into some of this code today. These need to get wrapped elsewhere. Yes, yes they do. Okay, so all this did when it ran was connect all this stuff and get started. I don't technically need these because these objects should stay around regardless. High automated action system we need to pull in, because we call start on that. So this is really when the bot starts. So I think the followable system might contain multiple pieces. Yes, Will Bennett Liskov. Exactly. We also have a couple of single responsibility violations and an interface segregation principle violation. We have a couple in here. Weird concept, but why not implement subscribers as a type of followable? Zarnal, yeah, they could be. The reason that we have subscriber handler and followable as two separate things is because they, in Twitch, come in on very different services, and that's why I kind of wanted to make an iFollowable system, which is a followable system here, you'll see, and I started creating this as the structure to encapsulate some things like followers and the chat client, which actually this I think should only have one chat client per followable system. A currency generator associated with this. I'm not sure why I've got it on here, but I do. So this is the piece that doesn't make sense and I think is too tied to Twitch right now. So we'll take a look. Oh, tokens for following. Okay. That's why it's got it. Okay, so it has access to that so that it can assign those because we don't have another good way of doing it yet. Alright, this makes sense. I understand what we're doing here. Okay, so follower service on new follower. So each follower service, so each system, as we think about this, we need to kind of decide how we want the program to work. Draco, yeah, we're not connected to Discord yet. I want to make sure that we've cleaned up this part and look over what it is before we connect Discord. It should connect nicely, but I'd like to get this cleaned up before we do that. Stop handling notifications. Where's this called? Oh! Oh! In our stop. We already had a stop. Cool. I was thinking we needed to wire one of these up. But I won't do that yet then. Okay. Add currency. Thanks for following. VS Code is really nice. Okay, so new follower event args. It's gonna get passed in there. That should be fine. So that's whenever someone follows, we say that regardless of what system we're on. I kind of want to change. I'm going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and just say that this thing gets one chat client right now. And we're going to see what happens as a result of this. And before I get any further into this change, because I want to make sure I don't forget to, we are going to branch this off. So we're going to call this architecture rework. It's not going to be a huge architectural change, but because we're dealing with such low-level core pieces, I want to make sure it's clear to anybody that sees this branch that this is a serious one. Gotta admit, VS Code is still one of my favorite Microsoft products in a long time. Yes, Fearless Pinata. VS Code is fantastic. I still really like Visual Studio also, but I run a computer that can handle it nicely. So yeah, I've been using it as a full IDE for NetCore. Yeah. So I did that for a little bit at first, and then I was like, oh, I like all the fancy extra analytics that Visual Studio gets me. If I'm on a laptop or something like that, I usually use VS Code because it gets me more than enough. Okay. So we've removed the iList of the chat client. That should have broken something. Aside from this, right here. That'll be an underscore chat client now. Let's go ahead and auto fix up that. Okay, so this code got a little cleaner and neater. We shrunk this down just a hair. So let's take a look now at this change. So that is switching that to that. Let's compile and see what I broke. This must have broken something, but maybe I was always creating it from... Okay, so it was always just assuming that it was going to be the Twitch one. So I think what we may have to do is we might need to make this generic or something like that. So right now, because there's only one chat client that we've registered with our IOC container, it knows which one to use. But previously we were asking for a list, so it gave us all the chat clients. We want this to just be the Twitch one right now. And I don't want to write a separate follower system for each one. But what we may have to do is this. We might have to, and I will show you what I'm talking about here. We might have to create little helper classes if I can't get it nice otherwise. Hey, what up, Rubik's? Glad to see you're here, and thank you very much for the what was it? The Twitch Prime 3-month sub. So that's awesome. You just hatched from your egg, or you're hatching from your egg. I guess you're hatching from your egg. So welcome, Rubik's. Glad to see you're here. Let's get some DevChatter hype emotes spammed in the chat there, everybody. All right, so it's just called Impl right now, but this is the structure that I was talking about. We could do something like this. We could make, so if we get to it, we could make Twitch system be a followable system for one purpose. So that its chat client could be a Twitch chat client. And its follower service could be a Twitch follower service. And then this code would just live in the Twitch project, with the whole purpose being that we get a list of followable systems, and this one really is just that one. And then that structure could work. So I'll wire that up if we need to go that route, if I can't think of a better way before we get to that. But that's the basic idea here. of what we're going to run into, I should say. So this is one chat client per followable system. So we'll go ahead and commit that for now. Okay. Well, I can't really do. I'm not sure if I can start something. Okay. So that's a little bit cleaner. I like that change, and I like followable system. I like that concept. So now this should be an iList of followable systems. Which means we just need to add S's onto those. And what do? We're calling that, and we're just saying handle follower notifications. Stop handling followable notifications. S&B, it could be a followable system of T. That's one way that we could do it. Let's try let's try it. Because we're almost to that one. So we'll do followable system and then put that on the end of it. So followable system, so we'll connect each one, and then in the disconnect we'll call the same thing. So we need to connect and disconnect each one of these. And I think you guys are right. I think, subscribers, we should try to handle through this same followable system. And we'll see how it turns out. There we go. Oh, Crazy Zealot. It is an interface that is almost the one behind a generic list. So the iList interface of T will actually work both for lists and arrays. It's essentially for any of those contiguous memory collections that we have in C#. So arrays and lists both do implement that one. Obviously anything else could implement it as well. It's got things like add and remove items from the collection. Though I don't recommend using those much if it's not a list, because it's a little messier in an array when it tries to do it, but it can handle it. Because I believe there are extension methods for iList that are the ones that actually do that. Okay. So we connect, we disconnect. We don't have all the other disconnects, but we'll take a look at those. McKellen, thanks. We're gonna have a good 100th episode here. Yeah, Zealot, exactly. It's a little bit more open. Okay, so that's our followable system. Let's get this committed, and we're gonna try running it again. So, let's restart the bot, see if it runs. It might crash on startup here because we changed the dependencies required by that constructor. Ooh, it still works. If anyone's in the chat that hasn't followed, click the follow button. I want to make sure that those are actually wired up. Because it should send a message into the chat when you follow, and if it does, then everything's still working as we expect it to. I don't think there is a CMD one. I think there's only CMDS. But you're right, it didn't connect for some reason. Discord worked. Why didn't... Ooh, did only the simple commands wire up? No. Huh. Well, that I don't get then. Hangman game works. hype doesn't work. Oh, hype works. Hangman works. But commands isn't working. Well, I'm confused why commands isn't working with that, but meh. We'll have to take a look at that one. Okay, anyway, that's something to look at later. So, the follower service might work if someone clicks the follow button. If not, we'll just continue on. Okay, so I think as part of the followable system, we want to have some kind of subscriber so in YouTube they're called members, in Twitch they're called subscribers. Since we're creating this from the Twitch perspective, I'm okay with bleeding in some of these Twitch terms in here, because I think follower and subscriber make a lot of sense. Oh. Okay, so Crazy Zealot, I assume you unfollowed and refollowed, just to point that out, so that looks like it worked nicely. And we do still get the message, so that means that we didn't break anything. I want to connect this. And yes, I understand that unit testing is a thing, but there's quite a big difference between that and actually connecting it out to Twitch. Which, the weird thing with that one is you can't really even integration test it without really making messages go out to Twitch. It's kind of weird. Okay, so, let's see. Change to allow there to be multiple iFollowable systems. Okay. That ought to work. Let's see if we can't move the subscription piece in here as well. Exactly, Zarno. We'd have to mock out the chat system, at which point we wouldn't really be testing that it worked at all anyway, because we'd have to mock out so many different pieces of it. So I want to move subscribers in here as well. So we have a separate piece. So here's the subscriber handler. And I think that's actually a Twitch subscriber handler. I think when we were making this, we didn't keep the interface abstracted out of this one. So the reason being, as I mentioned, when we're streaming a lot of these, we sometimes have to cut things short so that I can finish what I'm doing. So I think that's why that one got created that way. Craven, hey, welcome. Yeah, grab popcorn. Pull up a chair. Should be a good one. So, let's see. It's called Subscriber Handler. Is there even an interface? No, there's not. See? iSubscriber. What did we call the follower one? Follower service? Subscriber handler? Sure. We can... Might want to change the other one then. So this is going to be an underscore subscriber handler that we're going to create there. This is going to be the interface that we actually program against. So we're going to create the interface we were missing. So some people had actually asked me if I was going to be connecting the bot to Discord during this stream, and I said that connecting it probably wouldn't be that hard, and we could probably go ahead and add it. But what I wanted to do first is I wanted to get some of this restructuring in, so that when we do add in Discord, it adds in nicely. So the last couple of pieces, I knew we had a couple of spots where we hadn't followed the principles that we want to follow here. So I want to get these fixed up first. Once we put these in here, then we should be good. Thanks, Renee. Alright, so we created this. We've got our logger down. So the main thing we need is just this. This is our... that's the only thing on it, I think. When it creates, it connects... Ooh, you know what? I'm not going to do this here. I'm going to put that inside of a method. So right now, the way this is working is on creation in the constructor, it is connecting to the subscription. If you look at how our follower one works, you will notice a difference. In the follower service, what it does is it just wires everything up here and sets up the event actually when it's created as well. Okay. Get users, we follow event handler on new followers. So it wires that one up. Okay. So let's put one of these. Let's take a look at this interface. I like this one better. Get users we follow on new follower. Ooh, yeah, so that got weird. I forgot that got weird. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to add this new event handler. Instead of being new follower event args, this is going to be new subscriber event args. New subscriber event args. So we already have this. This should not be Twitch based, so you'll notice nothing up here says Twitch, because we do not want this to be a Twitch one. Let me check chat really quickly. Are you planning to integrate the options pattern for configurable components and DI? I assume you mean like the options as in you accept an options parameter in your constructor that is a configuration section. And the short answer is I'm not going to do it that way because I want data-driven options from the database, which we already have in here. So we will still be using dependency injection to add the information for where we need to connect and things like that, but I want to store it in the database. So that's the idea there. But yes, that is a great point. If we were long-term going to be using configuration from the file system, then yes, boot, we would be doing that. Maboot. I just figured out what your name is. I like it. Okay, so this is called onNewFollower. It should be called onNewSubscriber. So we're going to make this new method and this interface, and this is what we're going to code to in our followable system. Subscriber handler that needs to get initialized from the constructor. There we go. Okay, so the followable system, which is going to be like a Twitch or a YouTube or something like that, is going to have these elements in it. It's going to have those, and it is going to also be an iChat system. Now here's why I'm doing this. I want to make it clear that there is a followable system, which is you can have followers and subscribers, and then there's a chat system. So Discord is a chat system, Twitch is a followable system, because Discord isn't going to have the concept of followers and subscribers, so I need to break this interface into two separate pieces. But until we can do that, I'm going to comment that out, and we're going to have that as an exercise for a little bit from now, so step at a time. It's important to restrain yourself a little bit when you're doing refactorings. You can't go for the full structure that you want to get to. You need to step a little bit, because if we run into the point where I have to stop early, say, there's a deadline and I need to work on something else, I don't want to, have made no progress. So I want to get a little bit of value each time we do something new. So let's get an interface on this. Let's implement that missing member, which is right there. And I want to take a look at how I handled it in the follower service. So right here, on new follower, we invoked that when the internal one was called. So I like that idea. So our subscriber handler will do the same thing. So the chat client is actually what received it here, which is weird that chat client gets subscribers. So, on new subscriber, now we need to say event arg to subscriber event args. Actually, these are our event args. What called this then? Maybe I've got this structure already and I hadn't realized it. Chat client, subscriber. Okay, so chat client already has it. Oh, chat client already has it. Okay, so we're basically just exposing the one off our chat client in this case. Because Twitch happens to do that. So this understanding here, this is Twitch specific. This needing a chat client is Twitch specific. Get rid of it. So that needs to be in the Twitch one. So here's what I want to do. Well, I love it. Okay, did I miss something? That's true of coding in general, not just on stream. Yes, S&B, that's why I phrased it as like a deadline might come up, because it's not just the case for the programming I do on the stream. You were talking about I options. Yes, I had to implement in our code base at work, and I'm always looking for ideas, concepts of how to work with it. Yeah, so Maboot, we actually did have one thing that used the I options of parameter, and that's actually going through the IOC container that is built into ASP.NET Core, and that's how that wires up. We're specifically not doing that one here because we want to have more of our configuration coming from the database, so it's easier to modify at runtime. So that's actually why we're changing some of those things. The exceptions to that may end up being we're going to need to figure out a nice way of dealing with OAuth tokens, because we don't want our OAuth tokens to be able to be just seen by someone that can get access to our database. That would be bad, although if they can get access to running code anyway, they might be able to get it regardless. But limit what you can when you can. There's no reason to not think about security. Imagine the curve, you have all the time to explore and implement the perfect systems. It'll never, yes, exactly, Zarnal. You can't get everything perfect. So we are going to pass invoke sender event args. I am not going to call that. If sender is chat client, no, we're not going to do that here. We are going to, well, let me comment that out for now because I want to save that code. Move this code to the move this code up a level to whatever calls this. So this code, first off, let me get our subscriber handler interface to wherever. Where are we? Alt Shift L is going to get me over here. So this is events inside of core. So I'm going to move the subscriber handler to events. So now it's got its own file, and no one uses it yet, and that's okay. Sushinator, hey, welcome. You should always, exactly, Fearless Pinata, we should always be thinking about security when we're writing our code. That does not mean that you always have to take the action that makes you most secure. It just means that you should be thinking about it so that you don't goof things up horribly. Any risks you take, you want to take intentionally. So we aren't terribly worried about this because, again, the main security risk here is, like, you know, the channel with those OAuth tokens. So not the worst thing, but it's still better to try and keep things secure if we can. So here's what we need to do. I want to take this and I want to make this the Twitch one. So let's go ahead and we are going to extract this over to Twitch. It's going to live right next to the Twitch follower service, is the Twitch Twitch subscriber handler. Okay. Let me make sure everything still compiles before I commit this one. Raidnor, which I apologize if I butchered that. Yeah, we've been running for about 36 minutes now on our 100th episode of the stream. Did I already rename that to Twitch subscriber handler? No, I just don't have the reference over to there at this point. This needs to be an iSubscriber handler. That needs to be an iSubscriber handler. And then when we call it, do we use it at all? No, we don't. Okay. So where's the follower one? Disconnect chat. Goodbye. Schedule that. Okay. Maybe subscriber handler doesn't belong here and belongs in that system, which I think we already moved it in there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of it off of this. It's no longer going to be a parameter to bot main. it is going... I was just thinking about where am I going to call this, because I don't want to have code calling out to the chat in the bot main. That doesn't make sense. That's not what goes there. However, inside of the followable system, we have the concept of, oh, we're connecting to two systems that you can follow us in and subscribe to us, and that's where we want to do this. So we're going to grab the subscriber handler here and do this. We're going to say on new subscriber plus equals that, whoa, no, plus equals create method, thank you. Don't want to lambda expression that. So now we have this new section here, and what I want to do is steal from our existing subscriber handler this code right here, as this was our previous message. Notice I said move this up a level. Well, there's the up level we're going to go. So you might be wondering, hang on, why do you have that? All you're doing is wrapping an event with a call to another event. And the reason I'm doing that is because on Twitch, it happens that subscriptions are notified through the chat client. On YouTube, it might not be the same way. On Mixer, it might not be the same way. And so that's the idea. We could connect this to Patreon, for example, and we would get the same concept in that Patreon does not have a chat piece. So it doesn't make sense to use chat in order to get that. So that's why we have to wrap the concept. Okay, so subscriber handler, on new subscriber, paste, do that, no, do that. Let me just click some buttons here, E. Okay, sender, does it matter if that's the chat client? This has a chat client. Okay, so the cool thing is, because we're now at the level of the followable system in this case has a chat client. So we can call this here. So we can say chat client and question mark dot. Now, the reason I did a question mark dot here is that, oh, Zarnal. Yeah, some of the Twitch stuff is very weird. Subscriptions are special IRC message. Followers are an HTTP event. Exactly, Zarnal. It's a little bit weird the way that Twitch works. I seem to remember somebody taking over the CodeRush bot due to a little lapse in security. Will Bennett, your accusation that was me and that I still have the OAuth token in order to be able to connect... I mean, no, I don't have... it was not me. I did not... No. I do not accept that accusation. Hey, Smartasky, welcome. Another person sneaking into the back of the room to catch the stream. Okay, so here's my thought. I don't know how we're going to structure this, but we need to figure out how to handle subscribe services without a chat client. So if they have subscriptions but not a chat client, then we have to figure out how that works. And welcome Janiscu and everybody else. Love to see you all here for our 100th stream. Yes, if you're new here, this is actually our 100th stream of DevChatter. So it's really crazy to think that we've had that many streams already. Okay, so we send out the message, welcome so-and-so, you are awesome, thank you for subscribing, yeah. Actually, I should say supporting us. Generic message. All of these messages I eventually want to pull out into the database and have these ones that I'm using be the defaults, but then people can configure them. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with the bot eventually. But for now, we're just putting them in here because we have to yank them up to that level anyway, so pulling them into a constant doesn't get us much yet. If we need to use it in a second place, then we can do that. Okay, let me get a commit because there's a couple of changes I want to make. Actually, compile first. Let me just run the code. Okay. We'll see if it works at all. Does it blow up? Derp. Alright, blows up somehow. We're almost guaranteed to be missing a dependency reference here. So there's a very good chance that what's happening in our code is we didn't wire up one of the dependencies. Yep, dependency resolution exception. There you go. It was almost... We changed where objects are, so it was entirely possible that at runtime it couldn't find the right object. And that's not a problem. We just need to tell it where it is, and then it'll work again. So it couldn't find an iSubscriber handler. Oh, yep, it wouldn't be able to find one of those. That is fair. Subscriber handler, where did you get used? And yes, I want to move this before I fix the namespace and everything like that. Hey, Twitchloft, welcome. And if I didn't mention, welcome to everybody else that said hi. Sunspire, yes, we are above Community Edition. I forget if we're on Enterprise or Pro, but I have licenses for both of them from Microsoft, and I don't remember which one I've got installed here, but that gets me access to this little text that's right here. This is called Code Lens. So that's the only big difference between this and Community Edition is that little piece, which is pretty nice. Some of the extensions I'm using are changing up how my document well, which is what these tabs are called, work. It makes it so that I can have them grouped based on project and color-coded and things like that. And I can talk about those if people want to know about them. So this did not get used Twitch module. Okay. So it registered as itself, but I instead want to register it as implemented interfaces, we'll say. So that was the problem. The system did not know how to register that piece, and now it should work. It's called Productivity Power Tools, Will Bennett. Productivity Power Tools. Okay, so the bot does connect again, so I am going to first click a couple of buttons like telling people, hey, you should join our Discord. And then you can find all our code out on GitHub, and now that I've confirmed that those commands work, I am going to go make a couple of changes here. So let's go ahead and commit this. So, making subscriber handler instead of concrete. There we go. We haven't done it yet, so the reason I'm committing this is a separate change, for anyone who doesn't know. By committing it this way, I can sort of cheat the Git system and not have to do any extra work, because I needed multiple commits anyway. So by moving that, what I can now do is I can now make the change where it isn't going to consider that a move, and it's going to consider it a new file. So it had considered that I'd moved the file, but now once I make changes, rename, and other things like that, it's going to say, oh, hey, big changes, what are you doing? So I want to make sure that it spots these and knows what I did. So Git will work better if I do these a change at a time. Oh, that's funny. I didn't actually need to do anything special with that. Change subscriber handler namespace. We'll commit that, and now I actually want to give it its rename. So we are going to Twitch subscriber handler. Now I may make a base abstract version of this if we realize that there's some common functionality that each of these need. We may need one. Hey Blub, welcome. Love the copy as reference. Doesn't work with core, I think, though. Copy as reference? We can link as reference. I'm not sure what you mean. The new project system in .NET Core is fantastic. It's got some shortcomings, but I love not having all the files listed in the CSproj file. Okay, so Twitch subscriber handler. That's a little nicer. So that will get it will realize that this was a rename because these two files are identical. So it will figure that out. Rename subscriber handler to Twitch subscriber handler. There we go. And yes, S&B, I liked the project.json better also, but I hope you do know why they couldn't give us what we wanted there. I do not blame the Microsoft team for that. They got us what we really needed. So let's get rid of that. So we are just connecting the chat client. It says the Twitch subscriber handler. This only needs one chat client also. So we don't need that. So we're just going to say chat client. There we go. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah, so Crazy Zealot, they got rid of that. Yeah, so for anyone that's wondering what they're talking about in chat there, in .NET Core, when they first came out with it, the team that was building .NET Core and ASP.NET Core and everything like that was using project.json. And so what they were doing is they wanted to use project.json instead of the CS.proj files that we know today. And the CS.proj files, as you may know, are XML files. And they look a little bit like this. I'll show you one. Edit our CS.proj file. So it looks like this. And to be honest, that's actually pretty clean. That code, it's not bad. It's way better than it was before because these files used to, in the full .NET Framework version, they listed every single file that was in the project. And that has some good things and some bad things. Now what they do instead is if you want to exclude something from the project, it's listed in here. But by default, everything else is included. So that's a more common structure for our systems. The problem is, because they wanted to use JSON instead of XML to make it a little cleaner, not that it's that much cleaner than XML, because these self-closing tags really make XML not as bad as it was before anyway. The structure, this is a little better than their previous XML anyway. But JSON would still be cleaner. The problem is that the Visual Studio team, the MS Build team, and everybody else would have to suddenly support JSON as well as XML, and so that was essentially the .NET Core people saying to another part of Microsoft, hey, we're going to require that you support two structures now. And there really wasn't just, like, one team didn't have the resources to support the feature the other one wanted to build. So it happens. I get why they couldn't build that. So, oh man, my wife sent me a text message. She's brilliant, by the way. She had a suggestion for something I should do on the stream today. So we built a voting command recently. It's on one of our branches. We haven't merged it in yet. Well, actually, the voting is in master. It's just the overlay that's not in yet. And we were putting that up on the screen, and we were doing that on Saturday. So our voting can be displayed here on the screen while we're doing our stream, so you guys can vote on stuff. My wife suggested that since it's the 100th episode, we should name the DevChatter dinosaur. So we will come up with some options today, and we will name that guy. So the hype dinosaur right there that you see in the emotes, as well as on my nifty little mug here, little derpy dinosaur. He's actually green, but I'm on a green screen. So we'll see. We'll come up with names, and yes, I do have veto power on all names that we come up with. So Devi McDevster probably will get excluded. But see, Craven has a nice suggestion there of Cody. Could be. I like it, Cody. I almost wondered if we'd have to spell it Cody. But yeah, Cody works. So okay. Anyway. So back to this. This, we said, is a Twitch subscriber handler. But I'm actually not even sure that it's Twitch. Because we're not specific to Twitch right here either. So I'm going to do this. maybe rename this to chat-based. Only if we get multiples. So this would get the understanding that that would be there. Ned. Yeah, okay, so let's remove the stuff we're not using. So there we go. Cleaned up usings, added a comment. Linux freezes when installed. Alright, so Twitch subscriber handler to one chat client. Remove. Change to... I can't type today, guys. Change to one chat client. I don't need to say what it's in. It's associated with that file. There we go. Okay. Codosaurus Rex. See? There you go. See, we've already got some good names coming in. If someone could do me a favor and make a list of those, so any names that people suggest in here, go ahead and make a list if someone can. Okay, so Twitch follower service, we've got this. Oh, we don't have that anymore. Cool. Picks up the cleanup usings. Yes, I do like quick little commits from time to time. They're nice. Okay, so our follower service, we have a subscriber service, essentially. We call them different names. In our followable system, we have these pieces. I think that'll work nicely. We have one chat client that comes in that all of these things use and are connected to. Subscriber happens to use a chat client for that, but I don't... Ooh, I just realized what we can do instead. That might not end up being a Twitch chat client. Maybe. No, it is still. This is a subscriber handler there. That's the Twitch one that uses that. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to see if I can remove the... I'm going to depend on the Twitch chat client specifically. I want to remove that subscriber piece from our chat client interface. This interface ran away from me. I do not like it. It got too big. I want to break it. So, in order to fix it, I want to get rid of this event, the new subscribers. I want to get rid of it. I don't want it here. And I think the way I can do it is this. Actually, let me see. Where's it used? Does it tell me? On new subscriber. No? Find usages. I don't know why Alt F7 didn't work. I used the keyboard shortcut. It just said to use in there. Right here on the Twitch subscriber handler, and right here in the Twitch chat client. And this only has one reference. So, what that tells me is that I can instead use the Twitch chat client. So the Twitch subscriber handler is going to take a Twitch chat client, not an iChat client, which is big. That means it no longer needs to be in our chat client. I can remove... Yeah, hit grayed out. It knew it wasn't being used anymore. There we go. Love it. That is perfect. So, huge improvement there. We removed something from a core interface used in our project. That is great. Now what I need to do is I need to run this and make sure that that code is still working. So I'm gonna run it in debug mode real fast because I want to see if we run into a dependency issue. Looks like we did, because here we are. So that tells me that the chat client is not registered as itself, So I'm like 90% sure I know what the problem is. So let's go ahead and go to our Twitch module. And if I take a look, our Twitch client registration, it registers as a chat client, but it also needs to register as self. Now that means that our Twitch client can be used whenever they ask for its interface or they ask for the client itself. Either one should work just fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and run it again. This time I think it's going to work, so I'm not going to run it with debugging. Confidence. We've got confidence today. So is anybody actually getting those name suggestions recorded? I wasn't sure if anyone was able to get those. If you are, go ahead and let people in chat know so that we don't have like 3 people recording them. But it would be good if we got those recorded. So the bot is in here and it works. Okay, awesome, Crazy Zealot. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we got those so we can actually vote for them. We'll probably vote a little while into the stream. So... excuse me. Oh, actually, I didn't mention yet on the stream. So you guys, I think I mentioned my mug, but I don't think I clicked this button. Because if you guys do want to get DevChatter mugs, the nice I'm Coding mugs, we do have them available. So there's Streamlabs merch store, and they let me just send up our. So this is the artwork that we actually have on our DevChatter stickers, and I was able to upload it to a mug also. So. Mugs, stickers, various other stuff, so we can all be derpy dinosaurs together, and we'll know his name later. I guess I'm assuming it's a he, but I don't know that for certain. It's hard to tell with a dinosaur. I don't know the differences. Okay, so that looks like it works. This is the Twitch one. So I'm going to get rid of that. If we want to pull that, we can. Yeah, stay hydrated, bot. I'm staying hydrated. Okay, so we removed that from the chat client interface. Remove from iChat client. There we go. Nice! Nice! Oh, that was a good change. I love that change. That was a good one. Oh, when you get rid of stuff off an interface, that is huge. It's so core to the application, so I'm really glad we could get that. Other things I want to get rid of. We're not actually using ban yet, so maybe we should clear that until we actually use it. Sorry, Blub, I know you set up ban, but we're not using it yet. And I know you set it up because it has your name right here, Blub. That seems like a big thing, so I'll let you guys read whatever that was just posted in chat. I don't think anything's calling that. If we need the bot to be able to ban people, we'll add that in later. But probably we want mods to deal with banning instead of the bot. Hey, Blub. Remove the ban option. Ban method? Ban method. Thanks, SNB. The user role is moderator. Janisku, what user role is moderator? Oh, yes, but the bot is a moderator. Okay, so connect and disconnect from a chat. Time people out in the chat. Get the list of chatters. That makes sense. Command receives makes sense, I think, on a chat client. But we want message sender and receiver to be where those other pieces are. So the chat client, user noticed and left is part of that. Let's break out another interface. I'm going to push that up. Here's what I'm going to do. Let's take a look at our message sender. We have send message and send direct message. Do we connect and disconnect on those as well? We'll wait to get that. We'll clean that up more later. Okay. So that's our chat client. That's our subscriber handler. So at this point, have we broken up the followable system enough that we can use it? So the followable system, we need a chat system to be the other piece of it. So there's the followable system and the chat system, and it happens that some of these followable systems are going to be both. And thank you for that follow, by the way. Stop handling notifications. Ah, yes, we should disconnect too. So let's, whoops. Just copy this and do a minus equals on it. Bring that down here. Do a minus equals. So we'll have stop handling notifications also turn off the subscriber notifications. So we can connect and disconnect that piece as well. Be able to stop watching subscribers. Glad to hear it, S&B. I do think I'm making some good progress. Although the bot's not running. Everything's still working. And just a tip for anybody that's wondering. I know I mention this all the time. I run my code all the time, and the reason I do that is because it's the only way to actually be sure that I haven't broken anything. And I want to make sure I do as little as possible so that if I do break something, I can track down what the issue is. And thanks for those follows, by the way. If anybody's in here and hasn't clicked follow yet, and you are enjoying the stream at all, make sure you do click follow so you get notified when we go live. We actually stream 4 times a week, so important thing to make sure you actually have the notifications on that. Let's see, so we have that. I really want to pull out a chat system, because a chat system would ignore the follow and subscriber part. Alright, so how are those changes going? So we're doing that. I want to make that. Followable system needs to be a chat system as well. So where are we? So systems, streaming, chat. So okay, so it looks like I was already kind of moving a little bit towards this idea because I have them under systems. They're streaming systems and they're chat systems. So maybe followable system is going to end up being a streaming system, and we'll think about how we handle Twitter and things like that later. So let's make the iChat system, which is not a chat client per se, because it's got more than just connections to a chat client. So let's make iChat system. And there's nothing in it yet, so we're not terribly worried about it. It's an easy interface to implement, and you don't have any costs to it. Hey everybody, look! 100 stream celebration, we got Jolie on the stream. Say hi to everybody, Jolie. Say hi. Meow. He didn't say meow, I said meow, those are fake. See? All the nice people out there in the stream. He just wanted the attention today. Yeah. Okay, so I know Stool Penner, it's a very furry dinosaur. That got hair in my mouth. Thanks, cat. Okay. He was trying to climb my leg, so I figured I'd pick him up. Yes, we do a cat stream every once in a while. He's a nice cat. I like him. I think I'll keep him. Alright, so we want to actually put something in our chat system that's coming from this stuff. So what methods do we do we have anything in here that is really a chat system? What do we actually have? What's in the followable system, for that matter? Handle follower notifications and stop handling notifications. Maybe what we should do is do this. Void connect and void disconnect. Here's what I'm thinking. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. I'm gonna make these do the same thing. They're both going to just say connect and disconnect, because that's really all they need, and we're connecting and disconnecting from the followable system. What ends up happening is the consequence of connecting and disconnecting is that we have connected to the notifications. So, instead of being a followable system, we're going to call this a streaming system. The streaming system is a followable system and a chat system. It has both, but the streaming system gets a chat client, a follower service, a currency generator, a subscriber handler. It has all these things. So Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube are streaming systems. And I don't notice I'm using the term system instead of service. And the reason why is that if I were actually going to call it, I would call Twitch a streaming service. But the problem is, in programming, service has such a defined meaning to us already that I don't want that getting us confused when we see it. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of people that speak German here in the chat. Call me crazy, but this looks like observable to me. I could use... yes, Warren Buffett, it does seem a little bit like it. Do I already have a streaming system? Ooh, maybe I do. Nope, just this one. Just this one, S&B. We don't have that yet. But you're right, this does feel observable to me, too. But that's, again, that's why I point out, I am not here doing this in a vacuum. You are all here as well. We are mob programming this thing. We really are sort of observabling this. This very much is like an observable kind of thing. Alright, why not 3? Chat, streaming, and following. Yes, Twitch may be streaming and followable, but it would be cleaner. Stool Penner, yeah. Yeah, so I could break out that one if I wanted. It'd just be another piece. I do wonder if we would use that one, though, because right now we're talking about adding a chat one. We don't yet have something that's followable but not also a streaming service. Streaming platform. Ooh, you're right! That's what it was called. Thank you. This is the one that needs to die. Good call. Good call. Thank you, S&B. This is the one that needs to go away. This goes into the other one. Yep, this goes in here. This is why. That's what it was called. You are right. Let's just say initialize field from constructor. Hey, there we go. Bonk. And actually, here's what I want to do. Connect and disconnect are going to be the first two things on here. We're going to reorder these. So connect and disconnect come first, and then are the actual things. Now I don't know if that got too large, so we essentially create a streaming system as a streaming platform, a followable system, and a chat system. I think that'll work. So then this can die. Let's check the references at startup. We need to go here, and I want to create streaming system as implemented interfaces, but this might be getting defined elsewhere anyway, so how is this getting set up? Okay. I don't know, we'll take a look in a minute. Either way, what that means is I can get rid of this one entirely. Let me check in chat and make sure you guys aren't like freaking out and being like, hey, don't do that. The search everywhere. Stool Penner, yeah, I'm using the search everywhere from ReSharper, although there is one in Visual Studio as well. The Visual Studio one and the ReSharper one work a little bit differently. ReSharper's a little bit better about finding some things. Add an obsolete attribute to... Oh, I could have, Renee, but I think that was the only place it was used. Oh, this was the one. Okay, cool. This is in the Twitch module. Followable system. Well, now I know where it was. Okay, let's try this. I'm gonna debug because, and exactly S&B, we have a concrete class that's a little bit larger than I'd like. However, it is still limited to 3 fairly simple interfaces. And this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday. For anyone that's wondering, so as I mentioned, today's the 100th episode of DevChatter. So if you didn't know that, we are, you know, I'm as surprised as you are that we're already at 100 episodes. But if you are interested, take a look at our solid Saturdays that we do. So this coming Saturday, we're going to be discussing interface segregation principles. So some of the stuff we're doing right now, that we are actually doing a little bit of interface segregation. And I will talk about it today because I don't want to not tell you guys about it just because I'm going to talk about it again on Saturday. However, we are going to talk about it on Saturday. So if you are interested, on Saturdays we focus on a solid principle of object-oriented design. We've done 3 already, so single responsibility, open close, and Liskov substitution. And then this Saturday we have interface segregation. And when we're done with these 5 solid principles, we will be talking about some other good design principles as well. Probably Dry, Yagni, and some other things like that, and how we can apply them, and focusing on what we want to do. Because we think it's always good to reinforce the foundation that we're programming in. Okay, so this takes in and a list of followable systems. Interesting. So if we're taking those in, there's something else we need. We need to wire up the subscriber ones as well. So Where is subscriber handler used? So this gets registered. Does this class get used anywhere other than there? Subscriber handler is part of the streaming system. When the streaming system gets wired up, we handle the subscription and we say that. This wires up when we call its connect method. So this is actually going to get wired up because it's a followable system. Streaming platform is... Streaming platform alone ought to have... a streaming platform is a followable system. Hang on. A streaming platform is a followable system, isn't it? I just realized that. A streaming platform also comes with chat. I can't think of a streaming platform that doesn't have live chat. Mixer does, Twitch does, YouTube does, Facebook does. I think every streaming service is going to have live chat. So it'll be a chat system as well. So we're going to get rid of both of those and put them on this. So a streaming platform is a followable system and a chat system. It doesn't want them to have the same name. It doesn't matter, they're going to be the same. They connect and disconnect regardless. Without a chat, what would be the point of a live stream? Yes, you'd just be like, yeah, it would be like watching TV, exactly. Now, I know some people like that better, don't like the interruptions that are caused, you know, when I talk to chat a little bit, which I get. I totally understand that it breaks from what I'm talking about a little bit. But I think in some ways it makes it interesting also. So, it's a little bit of a toss-up there. Okay, let's see if we can't... Yeah, thanks, S&B. Yeah, I try to get a nice balance of making sure I'm getting stuff done and chatting with the viewers in the stream. One of the things that I try to do that many of you may have noticed, Twitch Live, I usually say viewers, but I would say people watching my stream, I would call them chatters, because this is DevChatter. It's about the conversation, it's about the noise, it's about, you know, the discussion that we're all having. So that was kind of the point, because I don't want it to be, oh yeah, there's some guy talking in the front. No, it's chatter. It's a group of people all discussing all at once, lots of voices. Many opinions on how to solve the same kinds of problems, the same kinds of stuff. Okay, bot's working. Alright, so connect and disconnect connects the follower and subscriber services when we run it. It is a streaming platform. A streaming platform has those individual pieces, despite the fact that it complains about them. Chat system, followable system, follow system. We may be able to get rid of some of the other ones, but we'll see. Moving, cleaning, streaming, system, interfaces, and types. Nice big change there. I like it. Viewer implies passive, chatter implies active attitude. Exactly, yes. But some people are just viewers. If you're not chatting in the chat bot, if you're just watching, you might just be a viewer. Some people call those lurkers. So you may have noticed, is my bot still running or did my compile kill it? That some people will lurk in chat. And that either means that they're leaving the connection open and walking away to go do something else. Which, by the way, if you ever can't catch the stream, feel free to leave it running. And just, you know, put it in the background or mute it entirely and just check in whenever you want to see what I'm doing. But some people lurk because they're going to be doing something else and aren't going to be able to type. So, like, I'll sometimes have a stream on while I'm cleaning the house. You know, because I can just toss a stream up on the TV and, you know, vacuum. And so, like, I can't hear while I'm vacuuming, but whenever I stop vacuuming, I can hear again, and, you know, I'll be cleaning whatever, so it works out well. Or I might be holding a small human that looks a little bit like me. And if I'm holding said small human, I can't easily chat. So, makes sense. Alright, so... Nvid96, welcome, thanks for following. Yeah, exactly. You can absolutely listen to a stream, kind of like a podcast. So we broke out so we have a chat client, a follower service, a currency generator, a subscriber handler, a streaming info service, and that is our streaming system. So this is the connection to the stream. We broke out that, so that's a chat, what's a chat system? Chat system is connect and disconnect. A chat system really should basically like have a chat client. Do we need this interface? Is it used at all? This may not get used. I think I'm going to nuke it for now, just to avoid the confusion that it creates. We'll add it again when we need it, because I haven't yet connected to Discord, so we will add that when it's needed, if it's needed. And I think that'll make things simpler. I know I just created it, but remember, whenever you're working on code, don't be afraid to just, you know, it doesn't matter how far down you've invested in something, always be willing to just toss it. You don't need it. You are not your code. Remove until needed. So we'll remove that until we need it. We'll add it when we get there. If it turns out that the Discord connection requires it, we will add it. No, Will, I don't vacuum up the cats. In fact, our cats are afraid of the vacuum, so if I start up the vacuum, they are hiding underneath a bed. So, poor kitties. They're really terrified of vacuum sounds. They've never, like, the one that's most scared of them has never actually even been near it. She just runs away. Follower service is part of the Twitch follower service. Follower service. Field is assigned and never used, right, because we just connect it. Okay, are we ready to even... we might be ready to look at adding in Discord. Well, yeah, so some people may be able to do that, Will, but I'm not sure mine will. That was supposed to be an iChat system, not an iChat client. There's an iChat client. Yeah, the chat system was supposed to be like Discord, S&B, but we haven't brought that in yet, so I don't need it yet. So I kind of want to get rid of it until we bring that in. So... oh, in my commit. Oh, you're right. Derp. Alright, I will fix that. Hey, guys, we get to do a little bit of getting. Do-do-do. There we go. Just to confirm, we have nothing going on. Git, commit, amend. Remove iChat. Now, because I'm working on a branch that is, this branch you'll notice has my name on it. That's usually the way that this is basically saying this is a reserved branch for me. This one is my work, so that's usually the convention I use. So whenever I work on a team and we have a named person branch, what that says is that branch belongs to that person. It might as well be on their computer, but they're pushing it out to the central repository so that it's, you know, safe and updated, and there's a copy that's not on their computer, so if their hard drive dies or something like that, they're okay, it's out on the server. Also, they can switch computers and still work on it. But functionally, we treat it as that's their code that's still theirs. So we allow force pushes to it. And welcome anybody that was lurking around in the C# Fritz stream. I don't know what you were just watching, whichever stream that was that just ended, but we are here writing some C# code on DevChatter for our 100th episode. So welcome everybody. If you are lurking around there, hopefully you're here for some coding. So, given what I just said, I am going to push this up because I consider that still my code and safe to overwrite. That's just mine. So even though I'd pushed it already, I don't worry about that one. When it is a named, Benric/branch. That's the concept there. So now if I check in this history over here, it should be fixed. Remove iChat system until needed. There we go. Perfect. And leave the command line. So yes, I do use the command line for most of the getting that I normally do. But for the stream, I like to have a visual for you guys. It's a little nicer than watching me hit the command line. We're already watching text the whole time. As if it never happened. Exactly, Stoolpenner. Nothing happened. What? I didn't mess that up. What do you mean? That code was perfect. I didn't mess up that name at all. Thanks, S&B. Glad to know people are paying attention, because it really is useful. Alright, so we have a command handler. Command handler... Followable system. For now, I kind of want to change this to a streaming system. Streaming platform. Streaming platform. That comment doesn't make sense anymore. Underscore streaming platforms. Yes, go ahead and change that as well. Alright, so that change is going to have a consequence. And the consequence is the iFollowable system reference that we had, which maybe we do want it to be a followable system. We'll see about that in a second. Which theme? This, I believe, is the dark theme, I think is all it's called. Streaming platform. This will be streaming platform. There we go. So for now, we're going to connect and disconnect streaming platforms. When we add Discord, I'm not going to have that be in the streaming platform set. I'm going to have that be the followable system set, which we may add separately. But for now, since all we're connecting is streaming platforms, I want that to be what we're using. Nobody will see it in the archives or anything like that, right? Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. 1 second. We developers. Sneezing, allergies, other things like that. Okay. What did this get used for in here? We wired up the interval messages with it. This really should happen somewhere else. Yeah, Stoolpenner, the blue theme is not actually blue. It's actually one of the light themes, just with a little blue color in it. That is... think you got tricked there. Alright, goodbye now, the bot has left the building. Okay, so it sends that in all the chat clients. Hand handler, automated action system. Why does this come in like this? What do we do this for? Why aren't the currency update? Why does that come in like that? Hot dog theme? That's weird. Can't you install new themes on Visual Studio? You can on VS Code, but I'm not sure on the Classic Studio. Crazy Zealot, you would at least be able to, I would think, if someone made a an extension to do it, I think. Hey! MC Northwood, welcome. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Can we get some DevChatter hype emotes spammed in the chat there, everybody? For our new subscriber. So, there we go. Thank you, guys. Looks good. So, Twitch Prime sub. Hype, hype. Congrats on your egg. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Let's see. So, trying to figure out what we want to do with this. I want to get this out of here. This doesn't belong here. So, that I want to be our next update is how do we get rid of that system. This is switch to streaming platforms. Change from bot main using iFollowable to iStreaming. Okay. I want to get rid of this. I don't want it here. There are too many things in it there are too many requirements in order to run the bot main class. There's just too much stuff here. You can totally exchange themes on... Oh, awesome, Zarnel. Not sure if you want Chrome or Editor, but there are plugins for Chrome and VS Config files for the editor. Oh, cool. Very cool, Zarnel. Yeah, I've never tried customizing my Visual Studio theme, but I assumed Visix could do it, which I believe is the plugins you're talking about to change the Chrome. So our currency update, I need to make it something special, and I need to clean up some of our interfaces on that. So it is getting wired up right here. So I want to take a look at our automated action system. We had add action. Alright, automated action system, what's it do? I logger it, so it brings in a logger. So I want this to work kind of like a hosted service does in ASP.NET Core. So funny enough, the way that that works, I know how it works. Not that I wrote it, but I know what they did. They do the same thing that we all do. So when the Visual Studio team did this, it's basically just taking in a list of your iHosted services that you've registered with the IOC container, and it takes those, and what it does is it just says, hey, make me one of these, and then runs its methods on it. So we can do the exact same thing. So there's nothing all that fancy about the iHosted service. It's just that it's built in, and so people understand it. So it's actually what our entire bot is running as right now. So if people do want to see that at some point, just let me know and I will show you that. So this is not like hosted. This is like registered automatic messages maybe. Automatic pre-registered. Registered actions. add range, registered actions. Actions is initially created as a new list, and then we can populate it right there from whatever came in. So whatever people sent us, we're just going to put right on there. And that means we do not need add action anymore, potentially, except it's probably getting used by something else too, so we will still make that work. And then I'll look into why that's getting called quite so much. Action registry? Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit like that. You got the you have the idea. Why is it yelling at me about that? Oh, add range. Derp. Derp. Yeah, thanks, Dualpenner. Yeah, I did end up getting that. Yeah, silliness. Silliness. There we go. Okay. And why is that? What's that complaining about? Function never returns? Oh, I'm not worried about that. It's an infinite loop. We actually should probably fix that. I probably should have that based on a cancellation token, but we don't right now. Currency module? There we go. Currency update, single instance, and instead of being as self, it is going to be as I_interval action. There we go. So see, S&B, we actually are, so we didn't need an action registry because we have it on our currency module. So that's actually where the registration of currency-based stuff happens. Hey, Brave Cobra, welcome. Lucky number 7, hey, welcome. Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is for you. So we added that back in. So that's actually... I like that change. That should be running now. I want to find out if it is. So I'm going to go to currency update. Invoke. Right there. I just want to see if that runs. So this is the code that, if you don't know, in our chat, you are earning coins while you're here. Did we just break on something? Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, not surprised. It's just a dependency needing to get wired up, and I want to find out which one we didn't specify. As we shift these around, oh, I bet I know what it is. It's our follower service change to the other one? No, it's currency update. Cannot resolve currency update. Something required currency update, apparently. Let's find out what it was. So if we go back to currency update, take a look at the references, something expected it as a parameter. It's whatever this is. Oh, I didn't remove it from here. Oh, that's my bad. Yes. Yep, I just didn't remove that reference. We no longer need this. So this thing that we were saying we don't want in the bot main can disappear, so there we go. That is nicer. Alright, great. Was almost the Truman quote. MC Northwood, did I say something that was close to a Truman quote? I was in for a surprise tomorrow when he opens my PR. Brave Kobe, you did something crazy, huh? Let's see. Let's try running it and see what happens. To be honest, Brave Cobra, I have been tempted to send in a pretty big pull request to that core wiki project that Fritz has there, because there have always been a handful of things about the base architecture that have irked me, that I want to be like, oh, we really need to fix this, and I've been tempted to do a stream where I just go fix stuff in his bot. Brave Cobra, you did like a full big restructure or something like that? Okay, so we're going to wait a second. Currency update should catch us on the invoke, if it ever runs. I don't know if it ever ran. Actually, that was a good point. I should have put it on the automation system when we did this, to see if anything came in, or if that came in as an empty set. Brave Cobra, you like fixed like a dozen bugs or something? Registered actions, what is it? Currency update. Oh, yeah, okay. That's exactly what we want registered. Okay. So it came in, we added currency update to our actions. That should work. So Brave Cobra single-handedly fixed up the core wiki, huh? Very nice, well done. Okay, so this is remove direct dependence on currency update. But I don't want to commit it until I see that run at one point, so run all ready actions. Okay, so we come in here, ready actions, results view, currency update. Which one is this? Currency update. Okay, it runs. Cool. Just wanted to confirm that that thing would actually run, so it looks like it does. Oh, Crazy Zealot, you're taking off. Have a good one. Take care of yourself. We'll see you next time. Still not happy with the end result, but a lot closer to what I would like to see. Yeah, Brave Cobra, I have the same problem. Whenever I see the Core Wiki project, I'm like, there are a dozen things that I want fixed. Crimson Green, nice. So one thing I almost did today, and so people were so we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do for the 100th stream, which, by the way, for anyone that's here that wasn't here at the beginning, today is actually our 100th stream here of DevChatter. Anyway, so one thing I was thinking about doing was maybe even doing a gaming stream, or partial gaming stream or something like that. But either way, we decided to just write some code, and it's been going well. So it looks like our change to that works, so because of that, I want to make a nice commit here. We removed direct dependence on currency update. There we go. Okay. So we have our automation piece, that works fine. We do that. Streaming platform, that is way, way nicer than it was before. I don't feel bad about the bot main anymore. It's got some things I don't like. So we understand the concept that we've got chat clients we're connected to, although I'd really like those to essentially just be through the streaming platform. What are we using the chat clients for anyway? That is hilarious. Saying hello. Saying goodbye and connecting them. So we connect and disconnect them. Do the streaming platforms have the chat clients, though? The streaming platform has the chat clients. Does the streaming platform have a connect and a disconnect? It does. It does. Yeah, Brave Cobra, I'm trying to remove it. You know, it was worse before. It had 2 more before. So we're fixing it. We're getting rid of those. I think that we can get rid of this. I think we can make the chat clients disappear, and we won't need this dependency either. Okay, these connections have to happen through the streaming platform then. So when this connects, it needs to call chat client connect. So where's the connect? Connect chat client. User tasks. Ugh. That's bad. So we just call connect on it. Ugh, the things that you find when you start digging into your code, you're like, wow, I still have this horrible, horrible thing? Chat client.connect. Is that async or anything? Awaitable. What actually comes back from that? Brave Cobra, if you do some interface segregation, you end up with a bigger number of dependencies. Yeah, so then the trick becomes, Warren, that you need to find ways of both splitting and combining in nice ways. It gets weird. So there's a lot of cleaning and judgment calls that get made on things. So if I await that, but then this, oh, is this just complaining because these, hang on. So we'll make these async, and then we will go to streaming platform followable system. Instead of those, we will make these disconnect and connect with tasks. So we will be async on that. We'll disconnect the same way. So now each chat client, when you connect and disconnect them, will call that down, or each streaming platform will call through to their respective chat client to do the same thing. I think that'll work. Which means we no longer need to connect the chat clients here. And disconnecting them, we'll move this into the streaming. So the streaming system, when it disconnects, it will first send a message to the chat client that says, hey, goodbye, we're disconnecting. And where was the arrival message? What's the bot say when it gets here? The bot has arrived. Right. Let's find where this text is in the... It's in the Twitch chat client when it's connected. Connect, we wire that up, call connect, do that. Connection, we then say it's complete, return back, say that, and we're sending this message. So we're actually completing it on that event. So that, I think, means that I can send the message here. I will thank whoever that was that just followed in 1 second when I look back at the screen. I think we can do it there. And actually, I think we want to disconnect the client as the last thing we do. Sir Trollis, welcome. Thanks for following. What did I miss in chat? I have to... Oh, Sir Trollis, yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed the recommended reading. We've got a lot of good stuff recommended down below. I do need to update that with some other things as well, but I think what's there is all good. So hopefully you enjoy it. Some good stuff down there. That's a good point. No, we're not gonna worry about that yet. Okay, we're not totally done yet because I think botmain still has these pieces. So we send message and we disconnect. We added those. So let's get rid of this. Actually, that's a good point. We should await task when all on our other disconnect. Streaming platform dot to disconnect. Yeah, so here's what I want to do. I want to... Hang on. I need to make that a list of tasks, so we'll structure it the same way-ish. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it up here. Instead of awaiting that, we're going to await this. And instead of these, we're going to move this structure to here and just add to the disconnected tasks. So disconnected tasks dot add that. There we go. So that's how we're going to disconnect them all. We need to do the same. Actually, I'm going to call this disconnect tasks. Because this is going to be connect tasks. Whoops. Derp, 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 herp, derp, derp. Alright, get rid of that. Automated action system start. Okay, so once we connect, then once we've got all our chat clients connected, then we're gonna start up our automated action system. I think that makes sense. Let me take a look at what we've got in chat over here. I'd really appreciate your comment on your PR if you can spare the time, maybe after your stream. Yeah, Brave Cobra, I'll take a look. Connect tasks. Okay, so we're no longer calling this, so this method can also die. Goodbye, method. You have been cleaned up. So now the only thing we're running into is the wrapping of the buffered message sender, which you'll notice I've got... Oh, it still says disconnect? Oh, you're right! Derp! 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 Connect. Good call. Good call. Thank you. Thanks, MC Northwood. Good catch. We're not quite done. We need to get rid of this piece still, though, too. So this, we sort of converted these. Wrapped all the chat clients and buffered message senders and added them in. Why did we need buffered message sender? Yeah, for the interval messages, I know that. I'm just trying to think of how we could change this. So this is an automated message object that we're creating here. That is just a basic automated message, and I almost wonder if we shouldn't do this instead. So let me create a derived type, and we're going to call it buffered message. Or, no, not buffered message. It's going to be rate limited. This will be a rate limited message. I'll inherit from that one. So it will still be one of these, except this one. Oh, that was already taking buffered message senders? Wait, hang on. Automated message already wanted buffered message senders? What am I doing then? Why does it, oh, because I'm creating them then. Oh, right, because we create them at this point. Oh, I forgot about that. Ugh. So something needs to depend on buffered message sender. Something that gets created by our IOC container needs to know about the buffered message sender. Yeah, these need to get wrapped elsewhere. Maybe something in the automated action system needs to know about them. I'm going to take a look there. That might be where they need to go. Our automation system might need to know about this. So it creates these. Yeah, we're going to put it here. Hey, Horkrine, you made it. Things are going well. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to add in the repository here. And no! It's not what I wanted to do, Resharper. Okay. Actions of force. Never run again. Remove. Okay. Remove actions. Run already action. Actually, now that I think about it, we can do it the same way this did it. We're removing the repository. We're doing it the same way we created that one. It's going to come in that way. Here's what we're doing. Where's the currency module? Modules. Currency module. Cat 4 Hurricane, welcome, thanks for following. This is turning into pretty... Yes, S&B, this one specifically is a little bit bigger than I'd like. The iChat client removal was hard. I will admit that. This is bigger than I expected. But you can't avoid this. They gotta happen eventually. So this is... Automated Message Module. Let's see if I can't get away with this. Module. Autofac module. Ooh. That's perfect. I think I can do this. Oh man, that one's crazy. Yeah, that's right, folks. I think I can do this. We're gonna find out just how good this can work. I think it's gonna be nice though. Register. Let's go back to our bot main where we're creating these. Just right here. Horkrine, we're not. This is not how this one's working. Interval messages, chat clients, automated messages, buffered message senders. We don't need no stinking chat clients. All right, so here's my thinking. I want to for each one of these. Instead of doing this part here, I don't want that. I want to builder.register I want to register an automated message. It's created in a special way. Hang on, let me check out what's going on in chat. Oh, sorry, I don't have the bot running right now, guys. Is C# hard to learn for someone who's just used to using Node? No, I wouldn't say so. C#'s it's got syntax close enough to Java that it'll confuse you sometimes, but that'll also help you pick it up. Malachi, welcome. We have been going for a little over 2 hours to answer that question. Try these videos. Oh, yeah, sorry, S&B. Yep, bot's not running. Hang on. Yeah, no, I will try to get that running here in a second, so if you stick around, we are getting close to being able to do this. Why is repository in there? Why is automated message have... Oh, because they do that! Oh, right! Okay. Nope. Register instance might be what I want to do. I don't want to register multiple instances. Might be what I need to do. I might need to Google this one. This is an interesting challenge. So I can pass in the instance, but that's not what I want. Autofac, create multiple instances for a constructor parameter. I want to see if I can get away with this. No. No. Register type. That with parameter name, resolve name. Oh, I could do that. Okay, so automated message, and then we'll say with parameter name, and then the value is message. Okay, there we go. Register instances for singleton kind registrations, but referring an action. Yeah, Brave Cobra. It is, but I don't. I need to not create the instance is the plan. I don't want the instance created until runtime. So I want to register each instance like this. I'm not sure if I can get away with this. I need a registration of each one. So it definitely can get those other pieces. If I go this route and use the constructor, then I think I have to pass all the parameters. Don't I, Brave Cobra? I think I'd have to pass them all. We're actually in a sub-container builder, sort of, here, Fuel Snable. And I apologize for butchering your name. Register define the constructing logic in the method. Yeah, let me see what happens when we do this, because I want to see why it fails, because if it fails, I want to see the reason. So let me go ahead and go to the automation system, registered actions. We should have a whole bunch of them when we get here. Is it build yet, or did I leave the code still in bot main? I may have left the code in bot main still. Yeah, I left it here still. So we'll chop this for now. It's in source control. If we can get rid of that, that's going to be so much better. Oh. Derp. Okay, I will fix that in a second. Alright. Alright, guys, here's where you see me become the perfect thing. I make no mistakes here now. Alright, get status, get add, source, unit test. There we go. Git add src unit test. Alright, git status. Those both in there? Okay. Git commit amend no edit. Git commit amend no edit. There we go. Yep. What you talking about? I didn't make any mistakes. Look, that's what it looks like. I totally got those in there last time. Definitely didn't make any mistakes there. No. I would have admitted if I'd made that mistake. Yeah. Yeah, see, hang on. No, nothing happened there. Look at that. Yeah, look, we're yeah, see? Nothing weird going on. Alright, so what are we doing? Removing chat client and we removed chat client from the bot main is what we're trying to do here. So let's find out if this actually works by tossing in that breakpoint that we wanted to do. So our automation system, the breakpoint's in there. So we're going to restart the bot and start it with debugging this time. We're going to find out what happens when it gets in here. How many registered actions? Only one! No! Oh, wait, derp. I know why. I didn't actually run that code. You know, it helps if you run your code. Let's see. Currency module. Where did you get registered? Right there? Okay. What? Oh, it wants an empty constructor. In that case... with the repository. There we go. Now it should work. Let's try that again. Third time's the charm, as they say. Still only one. Let me see if this code ran. Maybe we're doing that before the other one. Maybe we're just out of order. Maybe something's triggering that to be created before this code has run, which this code should be able to run as soon as we create that repository. Oh, right. That's why. We are registering them, but then I need to do this. As I interval action? Is it an I interval action? Yes. We have to register it as an interval action because that's actually what that's looking for. Derp. But that should work. You need something like this. Oh, maybe. I will take a look at that in a second. So this is running first. Hang on. And how many messages do we get in here? 7. Boom! I think it worked. Automated messages. Having fun. Want to start streamer? Got questions? Boom, I think it got it. I think it got it. Let me take a look at what you posted there. Log4net integration module. Inject logger properties. So this is a logging module, and this is properties instance, get properties. For each set value to instance type, static on component preparing, attached component registration. I don't think this is exactly what we need. This is like setting up the properties of an instance when it's created, which could be useful for something else. And actually, we could have maybe wired up our automation system this way with these. But I think our current approach does work. So let's see if we get any messages popping out. Like if it does interval messages, then we know it worked. So we'll just watch for those. Okay, awesome. I am out of Pepsi. Let me solve this problem. Pepsi, fuel of DevChatter. Not sponsored. Okay, so other things. Clicking links, yep, still works. I was hoping to see an interval message come by here. One of these days. It should be spitting them out. Come on. Come on, chatbot. You can do it. You can do it. Alright, I'll read through chat a little bit while we wait then. There's constructing. I used to do that with good old Object Builder. Oh yeah, Avulo, if you are still in here, S&B got that link for you that you can join our Learn to Code in C# streams here on the channel. And for anyone who doesn't know, we do a number of videos and other things on the channel to teach people C#. So some of this, obviously, our main content here, it's generally expected that you at least know a little bit of C# to be able to follow along, although you don't have to, because we do still try to explain most stuff, and developers could usually figure out the syntax of C# even if they don't know the language. Still not seeing my messages coming through here. automation system. Let's take a look. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, doop-a-doop-a-doo. Automation system. Here we go. Run all ready actions. Stepping in here. Ready actions. What do we have? Results view. No results. There are no ready actions. You know what? I can force one, I think, by going in here and adjusting it in the database to have been run a while ago. Interval messages, view data. When was it last sent? They all claim to have been sent like 5 minutes ago. That seems unlikely. Okay, these ones have been sent an hour ago now. Chatbot, spam some of those in here if you would, please. Or attempt to, at least. So modified the data, it's still not firing them. I think those may not go. In that case, what's in our action list? It's not done. It has no chat clients. That's the problem. They didn't get created right. They didn't get created right, I don't think. I think that's the problem. Okay, high interval action. I want to go to my automated messages, and I want to check, is it time to run, which is going to be right here. And this one, it might be time to run, but that doesn't matter. I want to see. So this is one of our having fun ones. Says that it has the repository, and its chat client list is empty because it didn't know what buffered chat client we needed. That's what it is. Okay. So this needs a list of all the chat clients. Our chat clients are never registered as buffered chat clients, which means it doesn't work. So if I go to a buffered message sender, there isn't one. No, there's not. Okay, so what that means is I need to create a buffered message sender for each of our chat clients in order for this to work. Alternately, I can pass them in as parameters to them. So my options. I can either go to our automated message module, create these buffered message senders here and pass them in, but I don't want to do that. I would rather register them. So where are our chat clients registered? Let's see. Buffered message sender is going to need to come in from here, so if we do it that way... Well, alternately, I can just tell it not to use the buffered message sender right now, and it will go back to working. If instead of having the automated messages... So that's the fastest way to make it work right now, is to just go ahead and change this out for an iChat client instead of a buffered message sender, which actually, yeah, that's fine for now. Okay, so that runs, and it's fairly okay. Let's run it again. This is gonna like spam messages into the chat, so I apologize about that, everybody. Like those right there, right away. See? That's what the buffered message sender prevents, is that from happening. But at least they send, so that means that our restructure of how they register works. We just need to get the buffered message sender working as well. So, let's get this committed then, and then we can move that piece later. So, this is registering automated messages in IOC instead of bot main. And actually, before I do that, I want to put a whip on the beginning of this. This one's not done because of that buffered message sender piece. So I want to make sure that WIP is the first part of the message there. So anybody that uses this knows, hey, watch out, this isn't done. Okay. Let me try a thing. Hang on a sec, was, did Crazy Zealot post the listed names somewhere? Oh, okay, cool. Over in the, over in Discord they got posted, I think. Okay, so, thing that's happening. I want to tell everybody, so don't go anywhere, because there's a cool thing we're about to do. We are going to name on this stream, because it's our 100th episode, we want to do some special stuff. So, we are going to vote on the name of our DevChatter bot. And by vote on the name, I mean you're all going to vote on it, and eventually we'll figure out a good name for him based on names. Considering that I'll have veto power on it, because I don't want him having some weird name like Derpy McDerpface, despite the fact that actually wouldn't be that bad of a name. We're about to vote on the name of our derpy, hypey dinosaur. Okay. So let's see, where is the list of names in Discord? So let me just bring this up onto the screen here. So let me get rid of those Ned, Code It, is it Code It or Code Elt? Codosaurus Rex. It's gonna be surrounded with those. Buggy? Code Chatter Rex. Devosaurus. Any other name suggestions while we're here? So if you're in chat and you want to suggest a name, now's the time. Devosaurus, which actually, maybe people like Devsaurus too. Stumpy, Stegana, Stegosaurus. I think S&B added Chatosaurus. Oh, Chatosaurus. Ooh, body. Oh, it's not the. We're not naming the bot. And just to make it a little bit easier, let me try this. And if this messes up, I'll reset the voting, so... Hang on. You know what? I really should have just put this somewhere that it could sort them for me. Ned, you're coming with me. Chatosaurus, you're up here. Derp. Brendan Jr. Dino Sharper. Maybe we'll just put in. Maybe we'll actually just type Dino Sharper. Dino Sharper. Buggy, Chatosaurus. Is that all the multi-name ones? And actually, just to make sure that it doesn't mess up, these are going to have a space in them. But because there was potentially a bug in our voting system, I'm going to do that. Hang on. I need to make this into a... I need to make this into a list that is... There we go. Those are all on my clipboard now. Which actually, I'm going to make sure that's saved there so I don't mess this up. So we're going to try this once. We're going to see how it goes. Yeah, you're not voting 7 just yet. Hang on. Alright, I think voting will work right now, but I will need to make it, but we won't have the visual up on the screen. So, it's going to be messy down in chat. I apologize about that, because we don't have that piece working just yet. Hype. Just confirm. Okay, it's there. So the bot is in chat. Vote new. Did it get it? Buggy. We have 13 options. Nice. Will Bennett voted for 7 regardless of what 7 was. Alright, cool. Or maybe you counted on the list to begin with. Chatosaurus. Codosaurus Rex. Devasaurus. Will Bennett. Oh, yeah, you cheated when I copied. Okay, cool. I do like Chatosaurus. It's a good one. So for anyone that is wondering, we are naming this guy. The emote guy there. Janiscu voted for nothing. We might be able to support random voting at some point. Codosaurus Rex. Janiscu, we don't. There's not really a value in adding random voting, because it just adds noise. People are generally better off not voting at all if they don't have a strong opinion. Because if anything, it just, adds a random element. And could potentially shy away from something that actually is popular. Oh, and in case anyone was wondering, the reason I'm using my DevChatter mug now instead of, a can of Pepsi is because I don't have my Pepsi sponsorship, and until they get me one, don't want to support them until they actually sponsor the channel. So. Okay. Strong opinions, but loosely held. Alright, hopefully that is... Ooh, couple more votes coming in, I do want to make sure you guys have the chance to vote. Don't want to lock you out of that. Oh, I should also, at some point, show you guys the status of the voting overlay, because I made a couple of changes to it. We should start voting on your drinks. No, user, because I drink my drinks. You guys don't need votes on my drinks. You can vote on your drink. Yes, Will, you're going to need 2 forms of ID in order to vote. What do I want to vote for? I didn't vote yet. I can repaste them, I think. I'll copy and paste them. I don't think there's a way to remind of the vote. So I'll do this. That's the best I can get you there, Brave Cobra, is that for now. We need to update the overlay to display that. Options, Buggy, Chatosaurus, Codosaurus Rex. Little green dinosaur who won't be named. Meant to vote. Is it a command? MC Northwood, it's like what I just did right there. Yeah, Stool Penner, we actually talked about that when we set it up to start with 1 instead of 0. It's actually useful for people to be able to vote for nothing. Now, we figured, so since, yeah, we did that intentionally. We started it with 1 instead of 0. And part of that is because despite the fact that we are all developers and would start a list with 0, we expect that non-developers will use this, and they will just get confused if 0 is the first one. So, there. An I voted button. Nice, nice. No, you get an I Ohio voting. Okay, so Brave Cobra. Tyranitar is a Pokemon. I didn't know that. Okay, cool. BG Ricky. Wondered how many more votes. You know, maybe I should just leave that running for a little bit. So, a couple of things that I want to make sure that I mention to all of you. If you haven't yet, everybody that's in here should absolutely join our Discord, because we have a fairly active Discord community that chats about all kinds of programming related stuff. It's very friendly. So if you want to, you see something cool, you want to check it out, it is a great place to talk with other developers about cool new things you see or you're wondering about. Stool Penner, not planning on turning off the bot. If you want to contribute to any of our projects, hint, hint, Brave Cobra, we accept pull requests too. If you wanted to fix all of our bugs also, we've got some. There and anybody else actually. GitHub.com/DevChatter has all the code that we do here on stream pushed out to it. It's all open and available for all of you to see, contribute to, look at, learn from, make, record issues about, anything like that. So if you want to take a look at that, it's all there. Also, if you want to see any of our old videos or anything like that, check out our YouTube channel, which has the archive of all of our videos going back to the beginning. So remember, this is episode 100 of DevChatter. So we have a ton of videos that are out there as well. Human and Paulina, welcome. Thanks for those follows. There you go, Brave Cobra. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at Brandonius, and I also linked the DevChatter Twitter in there as well. It's DevChatter_, and Twitchluff. I think you may have just taken the gold, but thank you for the 100 biddies, much appreciated. Thank you for the support. Let's see, other things. If you are interested in supporting this channel, some of the best ways to do it are either cheering with bits or subscribing to the channel. Other great ways are just showing up here and viewing. That's actually one of the better ones, because it actually helps us get people in here when they see, oh, that's a channel that's actually got people watching, so it's probably a good one. So being here in the channel, even if you're not watching, is very useful. And by not watching, I mean not chatting. You might be listening, you might be watching, you might be chatting, but any of that is useful. Other things that are valuable, if you guys promote and talk about the channel and suggest things, that is actually so much better than if I say it. Other things, one of the pieces that I still need to work out, but we are going to figure out how to do it because I'm working with the VS LiveShare team on making it happen, is I am going to start setting it up so that while we're doing these coding sessions here on stream, that people will be able to connect into our share. So what I'm going to do is I am going to post on our Patreon or a special patrons-only channel in our Discord or something like that. I will post our share link so that you guys can actually come in and be in Visual Studio and working around while I'm doing my code. So when I'm doing one of these restructures, when I'm adding a new feature or something like that, if you want to look at the code that I'm not actively working on, the best way to do that will be to be in the actual live share. So you can be roaming around in this Visual Studio using VS LiveShare. If you haven't seen that when I'm pair programming before, it is super, super crazy. And I am going to set it up so that our patrons and probably some tier of Twitch subscriber will also get that access, but I haven't decided yet. So we will be setting that up. It should be really, really awesome. Stool Penner, technically Patreon, I think more money goes to the creator when you use Patreon than subscribing, but the reason I usually suggest people subscribe is because then they get the fun thing of like the DevChatter emotes too. Yes, exactly. That's the idea, Twitchloft. So, we had been talking with the VS LiveShare team, and they did get us read-only LiveShare. There's one other restriction that we want to get in there, and that is for when we need to have debugging support. We do want to shut off the ability for people to look at our OAuth tokens while we're debugging. So that would be the only limiting factor, is we just need a way to shut off the ability to look at the values while debugging. So if we could essentially have like a read-only, essentially code-only access to LiveShare, that would probably be the best approach. But that's what we're working on with them. And until that point, we could maybe let people in and then just either find a way of kicking them out or locking them down if we do need to use debug. What else do I want to mention? Oh, if you want to be cool, like me, and use an I'm Coding mug to let everybody know that you're derping around and writing code while you are writing code, you can actually find that on our merch store. I think people are done voting. Also, if you have not yet and you still want to vote, there's still time to vote for the option that you like. You do it like this. That's how you vote. So if anyone wants to vote on the name of our derpy little dinosaur that's on this mug right here, that's the way you do it. And if anybody is interested in getting one of those for themselves, there is a merch store where you can pick one up. Okay, so, sounds like I need to end the voting then. Let's see. Vote. Finn. Chatosaurus wins. With vote count of 4. Oh, that's funny. So it's apparently the Chatosaurus is what we have on here. So, the Chatosaurus. There we go. That's the winner. Malachi, I'm pretty sure it's not a bug in the voting code. What it is it's a bug in the way that I set up the vote for it. Sounds like these derpy dinosaurs are called Chattosauruses. So, now we can call for Chattosauruses in the... Will Bennett wants a recount. Don't worry, Will. These are Chattosauruses, and since that's more of a name of a type of dinosaur than than an actual name, when we have whole crowds of them, you could say that one of those 5 is named Ned or Cody or something like that, if you like. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to make sure I mention, because we have some stuff coming up on the schedule. So hang on, schedule. Chattosauri, yes, Chattosauri or Chattosauruses, who knows? I don't know. Okay, so our schedule coming up. We have some things that I want to mention that are coming up on the schedule over here. So, if you don't know what our schedule is, we stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here on the stream. You'll see that there in the chat there. And if you do need to know that in your own time zone, you can use the schedule command like I did. I said Ohio, but you could use any state, city, country, location that is some kind of description that Google might be able to identify. And you can find what our schedule is in your time zone. Okay. So, I didn't switch to this week yet, because it is Monday. So, we're going to do this. Chop out the completed stream there. Move this down here. Move this. Derp. Derp. There we go. So that is removing last week. There we go. Okay, so today, as I mentioned, today was our 100th stream here on the channel, so that was fun. And I think we had a pretty nice stream. Tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to do something fun. Might work on the bot, don't know. On Thursday, we're going to have Kevin Griffin here, and we will be pair programming with Kevin, and we'll figure out what that is. He and I are still working on the topic. And then on Saturday, we're going to do our 4th of our solid Saturday streams, and that is going to be the interface segregation principle, and we're going to talk about how interface segregation works, why it's important, what it does, and then we're going to do some programming, as we always do here on the channel. And, well, mostly, have we always done? I think we've always done it. And we will do our code, and while we're doing it, we will talk about the interface segregation principle, and that's sort of the idea. It gives us a discussion point while we code. So, should be fun. Hopefully we see you all back here for that, and we'll see you all tomorrow then also. Our stream tomorrow will be at the regular time at 2 p.m. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States, which ends up being like, what, 6 p.m. or 1800 hours UTC? So, anyway, I will catch you all in 21 hours, a little over 21 hours. So, take care, everybody. Let me go ahead and run the credits, actually, because I should run the credits today. Because there should be some interesting stuff in here. So, credits, right there. Thank you to Twitchloft for the cheers. Thank you for the biddies. Crimson Green and S&B, thank you for helping out moderating today. We got a bunch of followers, so thank you to all those people that are in the follow list. Greatly appreciated. Rubix, thank you for the resub. And MC North, thank you for your first sub. Much appreciated. So thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed the stream today. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was great seeing you all here. If you haven't yet, I really do recommend that you take a look at our Discord and hang out over there. I saw a bunch of people have joined, but it is actually one of the best places to be able to chat with other developers on the internet that, you know, are interested in the same kind of stuff that you are. So, there's a bunch of C# devs, but there are a lot of devs in other languages as well, so if C# not your thing, you can still chat with the rest of us, and I assume you at least are interested in it since you show up and watch us here. But either way, I'll see you all in about 21 hours, and take care of yourselves. Happy Monday, and happy coding. Good night, good afternoon, and bye everyone.